There was a night a few years ago where I sat scrolling my phone at midnight and felt like a complete failure. Everyone else seemed to be ahead, buying houses, getting promoted, traveling, launching things, hitting milestones I hadn't. And I lay there with this heavy, familiar feeling. I'm behind. I've wasted time. Everyone's figured it out except me. Here's what I've learned since. That feeling is one of the most common human experiences there is, and it's almost always based on a lie. If you feel behind in life, I want to show you where that feeling comes from, why it's usually wrong, and what to do about it. Let's start with something that should make you feel less alone. Almost everyone feels behind, including the people you think are ahead. The person you're comparing yourself to, the one who looks like they've got it all together, is very likely comparing themselves to someone else and feeling exactly the same way you do. It's not a small group of anxious people, it's nearly everyone. We are living in the most comparison-saturated era in human history, and it's quietly making a whole generation feel like they're failing. So the feeling isn't proof that you're behind, it's proof that you're human with a phone in 2026. Here's the first mechanism, and it's the big one. You are comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. You know your full story, every doubt, every setback, every boring Tuesday, but what you see of other people is the edited version, the wins, the announcements, the holiday photos, never the anxiety, the debt, the arguments. You're comparing your uncut footage to their trailer. Of course, you feel like you're losing. It's a rigged comparison. And social media has industrialized it. You now compare yourself not to the 30 people in your village, but to the most successful looking people on the entire planet, all day, every day. No human mind was built for that. Here's the second lie. The idea that there's a timeline you're supposed to be hitting. Married by 30, house by 35, peak career by 40. Somewhere along the way, we absorbed a schedule for life and started measuring ourselves against it. But that timeline is completely made up. It's an average from a different era, and it fits almost no one's actual life. Some people bloom early. Some find their thing at 50. Some of the most remarkable lives were behind for decades before they weren't. The timeline is fiction, but the shame it creates is very real. Here's the twist that should really set you free. Even the people who arrive don't feel the way you think they do. Psychologists call it the arrival fallacy, the belief that hitting a goal will bring lasting happiness. You get the promotion, the house, the milestone, and within weeks, it's just your new normal, and there's a new thing you feel behind on. The finish line moves. It always moves. If you chase caught up, you will never arrive, because the target relocates every time you get close. So feeling behind isn't a sign you haven't achieved enough. It's a feature of chasing a moving target. The achievers feel it too. So if comparing to others is rigged and the timeline is fake and arriving doesn't fix it, what do you actually do? You change what you measure against. And there's only one honest comparison, you today versus you a year ago. Are you a little wiser, a little healthier? Have you learned something, healed something, built something? However small, that's real progress. And it's completely invisible when you're staring at everyone else. Most people are far further along than you think. They just measure themselves against strangers instead of their own starting line. Here's a practical tool. Build your own scorecard. Write down where you were 3 years ago. Genuinely, what you knew, what you feared, what you couldn't do. Then look at where you are now. Almost always, the growth is real and significant, and you'd completely forgotten. Then define what actually matters to you, not the culture lists, yours. Health, relationships, work you care about, peace of mind. Score your life on that against your own past, not other people's present. When you play on your own scoreboard, behind stops making sense. There's no one to be behind. Even knowing all this, the feeling will still come. So here's what to do in the moment. First, name it. I'm feeling behind. Just naming it takes some of the power out of it. Second, notice the trigger. 9 times out of 10, it's a screen. You just watch someone's highlight reel. That's not information about your life, it's a feeling manufactured by an algorithm. Third, come back to your own scoreboard. Ask one question: am I better than I was a year ago? If the honest answer is yes, you're not behind, you're on your way. Here's the reframe I want you to keep. Life is not a race with a shared finish line. It's a path that only you are walking. There is no behind because there's no one else on your exact path to be behind of. Comparison only works between identical things, and no two lives are identical. The people who seem ahead are running a different race with different rules that you can't see. Your only real job is to keep walking your path a little better each year. You're not late, you're not behind. You're exactly where your own path has taken you, and the next step is always available. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Write down 3 ways you've grown in the last 3 years. Be specific. Things you now handle that used to scare you. Then, for 1 week, when the I'm behind feeling hits, notice what you were doing right before it. I bet it was a screen almost every time. That awareness alone will change your relationship with the feeling. Tell me in the comments, what's 1 way you've grown that you'd forgotten? On this channel, I'll break down 1 life skill every week so you can build a better life. 1 conversation, 1 habit, 1 system at a time. That's what this channel is about. Life, knowledge, productivity. Thank you for watching.